Up next to the MARR Rock Show, we are welcoming back Allison, the lead vocalist of Tennessee band Roses Unread. They've got a new EP out called Vultures, been out about 2 weeks now. We've added their title track of that, Vultures, to our Golden Dozen this week, and we wanted to get Allison back on the show to tell us all about it. So, Allison, welcome back.
Hey, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So, first of all, congratulations on the release of Vultures. We were drawn mostly, or not mostly, but the first song I was really drawn to was the title track. So tell me a little bit more about that tune.
Vultures, that was the first release music video we did. The whole Vultures theme kind of goes back to how we wanted the whole album theme to be. So they kind of like meet in the middle if you really think about it. But the thing is, with Vultures, we took a year and a half to write, and the whole year we were kind of felt beat up with like people who've like given up on us, and we had a lot of people who just like I said, gave up on us, and a lot of people who died actually in our life. It wasn't grandparents, it was other people we were close to. And just kind of felt like the world was giving up on us, like we were getting eaten alive. Like a lot of us lost our jobs and stuff. It was like anything that could happen in that year did, and it kind of just felt like vultures just picking us apart, eating us alive. And we tried to find some light to come out of it. And I've been telling people that I thought like the silver lining was my whole light with everything when things bad were happening, but it really was Vultures that. It's just kind of weird how that all played out.
Now, there's a music video out there for that tune, and it looks like when I watched that video this morning, it looks like it was kind of a hot, buggy, swampy kind of area. Tell us a little bit about the making of that video.
Yes, it really was. The messed up thing was we had a place to record the video, and the day before it fell through. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Because we have the guy come in, he's going to film us, record us. And I'm like, we don't have our spot anymore. Like, this has to happen today if we want the whole timeline to work out, when we want to release it. And when things are going to come out, and we're going to start doing spoilers and all this stuff. It's got to work out, and we lost our place. So I'm like, crap. So I start calling around, and finally get one of my old bandmates to let us use his property. He come on out, and it was gonna be hot regardless. But we were by this really swampy pond, like you mentioned, and there was mosquitoes, bugs. I mean, it was crazy. The guy that was filming us, he was scared to death of snakes and frogs. And every time he'd hear something jump by the water, he'd freak out, and I had to calm him down. He was just he was flipping it. I'm like, dude, it's okay. His name's Justin Talley. We call him Sagey. Did a remarkable job. He had a drone with the video. It was awesome, and it all worked out perfectly. But like I said, there was some chaos, the mist before it and all that. So the way it worked out was fine. Like you said, it was just hot. You could tell we were sweaty. I mean, but I kind of think it played the whole, Vultures, theme just right because it was so natural.
So we were
out there in it,
Yeah, it jives perfectly with the vibe of the tune for sure. Now, where we talked about the video, but the actual record itself, where was it recorded, and who produced it for you?
We actually recorded it in our house. The house we live in was my childhood residence. My parents lived next door, and I actually lived with my parents for about 17, 18 years, and I moved in with my grandmother who lived next door, which is where my parents live. They live in her old house. So I moved back into my house as a child. Sorry, my dogs are barking.
Oh, that's all good.
They're distracting me. They're running around in circles, and I can't concentrate. That's why I'm because they're seriously running around me in circles.
And
I'm trying not to pay attention to it.
We're a pet-friendly show. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I feel like this happens a lot, and I can't avoid or get away from it. And I really apologize. But no, back to the CD. We recorded it in my home, and which was my bedroom as a child. That's our studio now. And so where my parents stayed is our bedroom now. So across from that is where our studio is, which was my childhood bedroom, which is kind of crazy because I never thought that I'd be in there writing poetry as an angsty teenager, and then that would be my studio. I never would have imagined that, and it just worked out great. And we're always with it. It's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time, but it's you can't get away from it because it's always there, but it's a blessing because it's there. So, you get this idea in your head, well, hey, let's go record it. So, it's a really good thing. But, we did all the Vultures album EP in that bedroom. And then we have a really good friend, David Cal. I would say we produced it and he produced it because we sent like what we had recorded to him, and he like put his own little personal touch to it. And we've stuck with him for 3 albums, and he just kind of gets Roses Unread. Like, he just knows what we're after, and he understands us. So he's almost like another member of the band, but he's not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And a good producer often it seems to have that effect on a band. Now, another tune I've been enjoying off of the record was "If It Wasn't For Me." So tell me what that tune's about.
So yeah, that actually was the one I thought you were talking about at first, and because you said first, and that's what came to my mind. But if it wasn't for me, that was kind of it's a very weird song to me because it has so many different parts that you really wouldn't think would go together. And to me, it's like our weirdest song. I was like, I've written some, pretty out there songs and stuff, but I was like, this one has to top them all. And it's just because it has so many different parts. But the whole Vultures EP to me, and I've talked to like John and like other members of our band, and it's almost like a concept album that we didn't mean to happen, but like all the songs kind of play a part with each other, like kind of hold each other's hands, and it kind of tells a story of like one scenario to another. But the whole part of like the Vultures things, like people giving up on you and stopping believing in you and wanting something better, or just anybody just leaving you in the process of anything. But like if it wasn't for me, kind of like people giving up on you, and you both all started at the same place, but they searched for something better. But hey, where would you be if it wasn't for me? You wouldn't be able to do the things you're doing now if it hadn't been from like where you started. You know what I mean? So
yeah, sure.
It's kind of deep in my thought process. This album, it goes more deep into myself than any other album has, because it's like the honesty that I was feeling through everything I went through. Like with the Silver Lining and self-titled, I'd write about other people's situations, or I'd write about just something that I thought was a good idea, or I felt somebody's emotion through. But what you're hearing on Vultures is all me. Like you're getting to see what actually I went through, and it was a big step for me because I didn't want to be that vulnerable, but just something inside told me just do it, and I did. So it was just kind of a new thing, and we messed around with like the synth and stuff and the piano, and that was a new step that I ventured out on, and I was like, I just want it to be something new that it just reflects everything that we're going through.
So I mentioned the CD, it was out a couple weeks ago. I saw you had a CD release party. Now, do you have some other live dates planned in the near future since you, have a new record out? Are you going to be playing out a lot?
We're actually, weird enough, doing like the complete opposite. We only put out like 5 songs on this one, so we're going to start writing again and doing more. We just wanted to give somebody a taste of, like what's more to come. And like we've got shows lined up, but they're like more in October and November. Like just West Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Carolinas, Alabama, that kind of stuff. So like we're playing like around our the border states and all that. But we want to do some things where it reflects like what kind of goes on. We're trying to build our YouTube subscribers up, so we're doing like playthroughs and doing like questionnaires and like just fun things like that for the next month, and then hitting it back hard in October, November.
Now, we've been a fan of you guys for a while now. I had you on the show a few times, and I've noticed, or like in my own experience, I feel like in the past couple of years, the number of female-fronted band has really expanded from where it used to be almost like a novelty to now it's like no big deal. Do you feel it that way, or do you still feel any differences being a female-fronted band?
Well, I feel like it's definitely grown, and you're seeing a lot more of it, but to me, it's, and I love like male fronted and female fronted. I'm a fan of both. Like if I was talking about my favorite bands right now, I could list you either or. But I think it's like what makes each one special and stand out. You know what I mean? It's because it's not getting oversaturated by any means, but you're seeing like more of it. So it's like when you're comparing different female fronted bands, it's like what makes them special and stand out more than the other. And that's kind of how I see it, because some will start sounding the same, and then you start getting the same vibes from different bands and stuff. But like, what makes the certain ones that you like stand out? And I've started actually doing that with male fronted bands too, like new ones I hear. It's like, what's making them different, where they're like their own, and I don't think they sound like anybody else.
Now, talking about bands, just one more thing before I let you go here. Do you ever get? You sound like you're really busy with the music. Do you ever get a chance to go to live shows? And if so, who are the bands you love to see live?
We go. I mean, pretty good amount. If we're not playing, we're usually at a show. Like this particular weekend, we're like, let's just take a break. It's holiday. Let's just do something for us. But like any other time, we're out supporting like other local bands that we play with. But like in September, I think we're going to see Nothing More. There's like two other bands. Like I'm super excited about Nothing More, but they're playing at the Daisy in Memphis. So that's like 45 minutes away. So we try to make time for other things, but I think it's really important to watch other local bands, because you got to support each other and keep the scene alive. And football's starting back, so that's gonna like put a decline in it. It's like it's really weird, because you have like the summertime and everybody's at the river. Like in our area at least, everybody's at the river. They're on the boat, they're on the water. They come back home, and they've had a little bit to drink, and they want to just stay around at their boathouse and just chill and grill out and stuff. And then you go through a phase between the two where it's like, well, it picks up a little bit. You got like the end of September, early October. Then you have like Halloween shows. And then December, it kind of slows down because of like Christmas and New Year's, but you might have a show here and there. But like, I would say from like January to almost March, April, like that's the best time to book, because there's not a lot of stuff going on. You don't have holidays and like river and things getting in the way, because like football's coming up. We just had summer vacation, so it's like all this stuff that plays a part with how good shows are going to be. So you kind of have to be strategic about it.
Well, we've been talking with Allison, the lead vocalist of Tennessee band Roses Unread. Once again, their new album is out right now. It's entitled Vultures. We've added Vultures to our Golden Dozen. And Allison, we're glad to have you back on the show. We'll keep following you guys, and I hope to catch you at a live show one day.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome. And thank you guys for always supporting us and sticking with us through like everything we do. Because if I could like name a top 5 people who like do reviews and interviews and stuff, like you guys are always in that top 5, because you've supported us for so long, and like we so appreciate that. Like I can't even fathom to you how much. So thank you.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend, okay?
You too, man. You'll take it easy.